How much does financial freedom actually cost?
People often assume that we must be working full-time out here because we're way too young to not be.
No, we're accountants, we're paper pushers. We're used to sitting at desks. Today, we're gonna unpack some of the life choices that we made that got us here. I mean, you're gonna come with us. We're gonna go to Dallas here, and we're gonna get these properties ready to go. And we got our friends Laura and Phil aboard.
It's a perfect day.
Are you gonna do some fishing, Phil?
Of course.
Are you gonna catch anything?
I sure hope so.
So, yeah, let's go.
I'm Michelle, and this is Chris, and that's Mr. Gidget. We traded our 9-to-5 and hometown comforts for a life of adventure and spontaneity. This is not just our journey, it's yours too. Let's explore together. Be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you never miss an episode.
Action. How much does financial freedom actually cost? Today, we're gonna unpack some of the life choices that we made that got us here. And we got our friends Laura and Phil aboard. We're gonna compare notes from two different paths that are going towards the same goal. We're gonna talk a little bit about what our life costs now, how we earn while we're on the move, and some of the safety nets that keep this dream steady.
People often assume that we must be working full-time out here because we're way too young to not be. The truth is, life is the bigger slice of our work-life balance right now.
We are getting ready to go to Dallas this morning.
For years, we worked long hours and made deliberate trade-offs and sacrifices so that one day we could slow down.
So today is my last day in the office, and for the past 15 years, this office has been a huge part of my life. It's been a huge part of my identity. I built this company from the ground up, from nothing, started in my apartment, and this has become more than just a job to me. Being here, working with the people, I've gotten to know them all so well. It's become such a strong part of who I am. Michelle and I, we chose to start businesses instead of chasing traditional employment jobs. Mm-hmm. And not every idea that we had worked out, but some of our business ideas ended up working pretty well. And either way, both of us put in long 6-day work weeks for many, many years. And along the way, we were investing some of the money that we made. Real estate was a big one that we were investing in. Jordan, you're on speakerphone.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
How's it going?
Good. So we got a quote in from your guy for
Garrett.
the renos. Yeah, Garrett, for Schofield and Jamaica.
Yeah, it was 78,000 US.
$78,000.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So we're not going to do that. Denier is going to the properties to take a look today. I'm hoping he can get access. So the one that really makes me laugh and laugh ha is in Schofield. There's a whole bunch of AC covers on the walls that just need to somebody needs to go and put a screw in the wall. And he's got a line item here: replace all AC registers 13 at $780 here. So I actually just finished a reno in our one of our fourplexes. We're just gonna figure out flights and car rental.
We'll rent a car, and our plan will be to just camp at one of the properties. And we even went as far as putting our own house on Airbnb, which had Michelle a little freaked out. But then we would take the profits from real estate, from our businesses, and we were reinvesting them back into areas of business that we thought showed promise.
At the same time, we lived well below our means. We bought smaller houses than we could qualify for. We only kept one inexpensive car, and we chose not to have kids. For a long stretch, our living costs stayed under the 50% mark for our income, and the difference became our savings engine.
Yeah, and Michelle and I, we did not come from money.
No.
We received no inheritance. We got zero windfall. It was just the two of us with a steady work ethic and time.
And I actually came to the relationship with a little bit of credit card debt.
Right. Mm-hmm. We just pulled up to one of our houses, and we've had this for, I don't know, like 7 years, and I've never been here before. This is my first time seeing the house. We're gonna go inside, we're checking it out, and Denier's been doing some painting to the outside, and it's, I don't know, I'm very excited to be here. I think this is very cool. We were never really extreme in any of our financial decisions, but some of that money philosophy shaped a lot of our day-to-day choices. We were checking out Choice Street today, and I got attacked by the neighbor's dog. Michelle's here, and
First aid in the parking lot of CVS.
that's right. It was a scratch, not a bite.
We also wrote a 10-year plan, which really helped, because each year we had targets and savings for investing and building on those skills. We didn't hit the milestone every year or every schedule, but the plan kept us aimed at what the same horizon was, and we worked on it together. That's how we ended up with enough to run away, to live aboard, and travel full-time.
So I'm going to put this in sort of the bucket of the weird things that Chris and Michelle have done to get ahead in life. I guess it was probably about 10 years ago or so. We got a few investors together, and we bought a bunch of properties down in Dallas, Texas. We have a background in accounting and, cross-border accounting, because we're all Canadian. And we know a little bit about, how to raise money without breaking the securities laws and all that kind of stuff. We got a few people together, and we used the money to buy sort of a group of rental properties down in Dallas, Texas. The properties have all gone up a lot since we bought them. It's now time for us to sell these properties. One, because we don't want to be managing them while we're on the boat. And two, and this is a big one, two, we sort of need to sell them for ourselves because it is now time for us to take the money in those properties to use them to pay for the boat. And we're flying to Dallas. This is like short notice, like last notice. And we're just gonna roll up our sleeves and do it ourselves and get this done.
Laura and Phil share the same values, but they started later, really building momentum in their 40s, and they're proof that you can come from almost anywhere and still create something big. Today, they run a large real estate portfolio with multiple businesses, and they've become close friends and business associates.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Phil is live. Fishing with Phil, it's official. It's gonna happen now. Laura didn't start with any advantages. She started with a focus on her first house, and from there, she scaled up one decision at a time. Her edge was money literacy, learning how money works and then putting it to work, including treating the banks as partners, leverage other people's money. They shifted from doing everything themselves to collaborating with the right people. Okay, we got a little stopover. Phil's gonna catch us some lunch. We're gonna will it to happen. Let's catch some fish. Phil, was it successful?
Not this time.
Nope. Try again later.
Yeah, we'll move on.
And Laura will be the first to tell you if she could start late and still get here, that other people can as well. So for people dialing in from home, Laura and us and Phil, we've been friends for many years. And when we met them, Laura and Phil were sort of real estate moguls back in Calgary. And we ended up doing a bunch of business together in predominantly real estate. And some of you might remember Laura and Phil because they had just acquired the Fieldstone Fruit Winery, and we made a trip out to see them. If you missed it, I'll put the link above, and you can check them out. And I mean, like, I know you've got the real estate, you've done a lot of property management, you've done a lot of coaching. Now you got the vineyard, and I mean, we've had you on the boat here for, I don't know, it's been 5 or 6 days or something now, and it kind of feels like, you know, you're managing this like crazy empire, but I see you're only working like 2 hours a day. Like, what's going on there, Laura?
Right? Phil and I were definitely, I think one of our first goals was to move away from the 9 to 5, which I know you and Michelle have done.
Yep.
And so that's, you know, that's where we get along so well too, is being able to look at that and see, well, how can we be efficient, right? That's one of our big pieces in our initial service company under Efficient Property Assistance was about that. When you look at that ability to really put your money to work. And I think that's what, you know, quite frankly, it's unfortunate. A lot of us don't realize that. And we know how to spend money. Some of us can also make money, which is great, but we also need to make that money make money.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And I feel like it's often a very fine line. Like people who maybe preliminary get the concept, oh, I need help from other people, or I need money that I don't have. And I think people kind of walk into traps sometimes, you know, where they'll just go and they'll hire people at whatever cost, but then, you know, don't maybe have the systems to manage that type of infrastructure, or don't know how to keep their numbers in check. Or similarly to money, it can be very easy to get an investor or get a bank involved and not realize how expensive and administrative that process can be. And, you know, I can think about, like, you know, when Michelle and I are hosting, you know, Airbnbs in our basements, or, you know, like having offices in the house, and, you know, things that are just like, you know, there's a lot of families that wouldn't impose that kind of thing on their home life or on their lifestyle. And, you know, it really comes down to like short-term pain for long-term gain. And, you know, if you gotta bite the bullet now so that your efforts today can compound on themselves, and in the future you can live a much different, a different lifestyle.
Fantastic.
Yes.
A lot of practice to get it right.
Yeah.
Today we keep our finances in 3 buckets: costs, income, and buffers.
Are you doing laundry?
So one of the things that's been confusing to me are the flags that they have out here in Spain. Well, I know that there's like a Spanish like nautical flag for sailing, which we don't have. We're just flying the country flags. But like, I think there's just so many flags, and it's creating confusion to me. Otherwise, things are going pretty well with our friends on board, our crew. Laura especially. I know that neither of them have been on boats like this, especially for this long, or doing big passages out in the Mediterranean, so they're handling it pretty well. We've got my parents coming into town. They're flying into Barcelona here, like in a couple days. They're coming out right away. I'm really excited to see them.
Cost includes fixed costs like insurance, internet. Variable costs are like marinas, fuel, and groceries, and the one-offs like big maintenance and extra boat gear. For incomes, we plan several small streams instead of relying on one big monthly check. And buffers include our emergency fund and reserve for boat maintenance.
This is the best day ever, right?
It's the best day ever.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the best day. The day before that was the best day, which means every day is just progressively bester than the previous best day.
Bester.
Bester. We're having all the best days.
The bestest of the days.
The bestest. Best day. I love it.
But when on the water, pace is our biggest lever. When we slow down our sailing pace, we tend to spend less.
Our base income layer now comes from rental properties, from investments, and we have some residuals that come from the businesses we built back in Canada. We're doing donuts on the foredeck.
On the boat. That's for Phil. Phil likes donuts.
I do.
He eats all the donuts.
What's the verdict, Phil?
Very nice.
Donut?
It's really good.
And what are you drinking?
It is a $10 scotch.
But we also have creative work like YouTube, brand partnerships, and that all adds a bit of a growth layer. And then sometimes we take on little consulting or side projects that fill in the gaps when we want them. The exact percentages of the different incomes, they shift from month to month, but the stack stays consistent and resilient.
Financial independence isn't an all or nothing. You don't need millions. You need clarity on what costs are and a real buffer. And boat life isn't automatically cheaper. Your pace and your priorities matter more than clever coupons.
Yeah, 1 week we might anchor instead of booking marinas, or we might wait for a really attractive weather window instead of forcing ourselves to follow a predetermined schedule. And we'll combine errands into one city so that we can limit the number of sailing hops. Patience on the water turns out to be a great budgeting tool. And fortunately for us out here, time is on our side. So we're here at Barcelona. We're gonna pull into Port Vell. We're a little bit early, so we're just gonna hang out. Actually, I got the World Trade Centers here behind us, World Trade Center Barcelona. So that's cool. We're just gonna hang out here for a little bit, and so that we're not pulling into Port Vell too early. So that's cool.
Where are we? We're here almost at Port Vell at Barcelona. It's pretty exciting, kind of cold. I decided to stay flat for this entire trip so that I didn't get seasick. So I feel great. I don't know about everybody else, but I did pretty awesome.
Return to the Mac. Get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Me get up. First shot, come strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, nope, y'all can't.
Think of financial independence as a 3-ring circus that you run. Ring 1 is the costs. You need to tame these first. You've got fixed costs, variable costs, and one-off. Ring 2 is the income. You need to book multiple acts, not just a single income stream, to carry the whole show.
Trust me, on my INDEPENDENT shit hustling, chasing dreams since I was.
Ring 3 are your buffers, an emergency fund and a maintenance reserve. That's the safety net that lets you try bigger tricks.
We give that to the people, spread it across the country. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give it to the people, spread it across the country.
Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night, we'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands.
The tightrope is your day-to-day balance. As ringmaster, you set the pace, slow the show when cash and weather are tight, and add acts when you have capacity.
We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't.
There it is. Doing the Barcelona. We're doing it. Yeah!
When Wu-Tang raised you, y'all can't stop me. Go hard like I got an 808 in my heartbeat. And I'm eating at the beat like it gave a little speed to a great white shark on shark week. Raw, time to go off, gone. Deuces goodbye, I got a world to see. And my girl, she wanna see Rome. Caesar make you a believer, nah. I never ever did it for a throne. That validation comes from giving it back to the people now. Sing this song and it goes like, raise those hands, this is our party. We came here to live life like no.
Okay, here we go. We're in Barcelona. Okay, cheers. All right. So what's your freedom lever this month? You're gonna spend less, you're gonna earn more, you're gonna move slower? Tell us one concrete action in the comments below that you're gonna take this week.
Yeah.
And stay tuned for our next episode. We got my parents are coming to join us in Barcelona. We say goodbye to Laura and Phil, and we are going to point the bow toward Valencia. Thanks, everyone.
See you next time.
As the sun sets on another episode, we want to say a heartfelt thank you to our amazing patrons. Your support means the world to us. It helps keep us filming, upgrading our gear, and sharing these stories from life aboard the Gidget. As a thank you, our patrons get access to behind-the-scenes updates, live streams, free merchandise, and a few surprises we don't share anywhere else. If you'd like to support the channel and be part of the crew, head over to patreon.com/sailingwithgidget. From all three of us, thank you for keeping this adventure going.